Annoying is probably the most accurate word to describe Wayne Rooney's feeling as he sat in the studio of the No Tip, No Tappy podcast. The Manchester United legend, known for his bluntness, discipline, and no-nonsense football mentality, genuinely looked irritated. But what bothered him was not a misplaced pass from a youngster, nor a controversial refereeing decision. It was the hair of a fan. Rooney has never been fond of flashy social media antics. To him, football is about sweat, tackles, tactics, the scoreboard after 90 minutes, and trophies earned through collective effort. Yet, in recent weeks, Manchester United has been repeatedly associated not with great performances, but with the image of a messy-haired man dominating timelines, Frank Elliott. The reason? A vow that sounded harmless at first, but turned into a viral phenomenon. I won't cut my hair until Manchester United win 5 games in a row. On paper, it seemed simple, but for a club going through an unstable transitional period like United, 5 consecutive wins turned out to be far from easy. And so, Frank began his journey of living with wild hair. The story began in October 2024. Frank Elliott, a passionate United supporter and owner of the YouTube channel The United Strand, made this promise as a playful way to show his loyalty. At first, it was just a joke among fans, but soon things exploded. His videos went viral, journalists picked up the story, and his growing mane became a symbol of Manchester United's inconsistency. By the time United traveled to face West Ham, Frank had gone 493 days without a haircut. His long, curly, increasingly chaotic hair became a talking point not just among fans, but on national television. Some called it the haircut challenge. Rooney called it a farce. From his perspective, turning the results of a historic football club into a social media stunt crossed a line. He didn't hide his frustration on air. If I could, I'd ship that guy to the other side of the country just so I don't have to see him. Rooney's anger peaked just as Manchester United, under interim manager Michael Carrick, unexpectedly found form. They defeated Manchester City in a dramatic derby, outplayed Arsenal, then went on to beat Fulham and Tottenham. The winning streak reached 4 games. Just one more and Frank would finally be free to cut his hair. And it wasn't just Frank who felt the tension. Hundreds of thousands tuned into his live stream, waiting for the liberation moment. United fans split into 2 camps. One side embraced Frank as a symbol of faith. The other accused him of exploiting the club for clicks. The pressure hovered over the match. Even West Ham striker Michail Antonio joked on TV. They'll definitely want to win because of that hairy guy, but I hope he has to wait much longer. London Stadium has never been an easy place to win. West Ham, coached by Nuno Espirito Santo, sat deep in a disciplined low block, daring United to break them down. In the first half, United dominated possession but created almost nothing. No clever movement, no creativity, no sharp penetrations. Then, in the 50th minute, disaster struck. Lisandro Martinez, usually reliable, hesitated at a crucial moment against Jared Bowen. Tomasz Soucek pounced and put West Ham ahead. On Frank's livestream, his face fell instantly. Over 265,000 people were watching. Although Benjamin Šeško scored a late equalizer to salvage a point, it meant one thing. The winning streak stopped at 4, and Frank entered day 500 without a haircut. Back in the studio, Rooney's frustration boiled over again. We're talking about Manchester United trying to win their 5th game in a row, and the entire conversation is about whether some guy gets a haircut. It's driving me mad. He even mocked, I bet if United win, he'll be devastated because nobody will care about him anymore. From the standpoint of a legend raised in Carrington's strict culture, Rooney's criticism made sense. He feared that social media was diluting the seriousness of elite football. When a match result gets weighed against a fan's hairstyle, the sport itself loses respect. Former manager Sam Allardyce agreed with Rooney. Wayne is right, things have gone crazy. But was it fair to blame Frank? At the end of the day, he was just a fan expressing love for his club in a digital age way. He doesn't set tactics, miss chances, or make defensive errors. United's struggles were tactical, not cosmetic. More importantly, Frank wasn't just doing this for attention. He pledged to donate his hair to Little Princess Trust, a charity that makes wigs for children with cancer. Before the West Ham game, he said emotionally, "If my hair has to grow longer, at least it will help kids who really need it." That intention earned him respect from many. On the pitch, the draw exposed real problems for United. Only 0.23 expected goals in the first half, highlighting their inability to break down deep defenses. Carrick lacked a clear plan against low blocks, the midfield struggled to connect, and the attack lacked cutting edge. Carrick himself treated the hair saga lightly. "I've heard about it, mainly from my kids. It made me laugh, but it wasn't mentioned in our team talk and it had zero impact on the game." After the draw, United remained fourth in the table, but only 2 points ahead of Aston Villa and 5 behind Manchester City. That was Carrick's challenge. As for Rooney versus Frank, perhaps both were right. Rooney defended football's dignity and professionalism. Frank embraced the power of social media, community, and charity without directly harming the team. After the match, Frank admitted, "It was tough. I really thought this was it, but we move on. See you on day 500. His persistence, in a strange way, mirrored United's rebuilding journey. Difficult, frustrating, but ongoing. The winning streak ended, the hair stayed, and Rooney's irritation probably lingered. But this is football in the digital age, where tradition collides with internet culture, where matches aren't just played on grass, but also on live streams, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. If United beat Everton next, Frank might be the happiest man alive, and Rooney might finally relax. Because in the end, whether legend or YouTuber, they share the same heartbeat, wanting United back on top. One wants to see it through trophies, the other wants to see it through a pair of scissors. And perhaps instead of blaming a hairstyle, people should look at the massive gaps in United's midfield against West Ham, where the game was truly lost. Manchester United didn't draw because Frank didn't cut his hair. They drew because West Ham defended brilliantly, and United lacked sharpness that day. As for Frank, let him keep growing it. At least he made the whole world, including Wayne Rooney, remember him in a way nobody will ever forget.